Hello, welcome to another pack limited builds. This time I'm doing the new expansion pack Growing Together, which as of recording this, it's like a month later, but I built this couple weeks ago, around when the pack came out, but it takes some time to edit stuff, and I also had other videos that I needed to release before this one, but yeah, this one is built in the actual world of San Sequoia. I know a lot of my pack limited builds, I tend to not build in the actual world that the pack is from, so I cheat a little bit there. But this time I was like, okay, I want to build something that fits into the like suburbia around it, which felt like a huge challenge for me, and it is. I don't know like if I could do a lot of these, but I tried with this one. I think that my like reference in my head was to make it like the older, more outdated house of the neighborhood that maybe looks a little bit haunted and creepy. Like that's what my house was growing up. Like I've had people say like they were creeped out by my house and thought it was haunted, and they're right. But yeah, so uh the pack is not my go-to style. I really like the windows and doors, and when I'm looking at it now, it looks fine. I didn't have to change it. I do change it because I just couldn't get it to work for me, and I don't know. I was like maybe just like thinking too hard about it because when I'm looking at that now, that looks kind of good. Maybe I change it when I add in the wallpapers and stuff. That would make sense. But on a shell, that looks good. I wish that I could use those sorts of windows more often. It was the white trim that was really throwing me off for this build. It was like, it was so bright compared to everything else, which is unfortunate because I really like the design on the windows, but some packs just aren't going to be specifically for me. I do love this pack for gameplay, and I love it for the antique items that come in like the interior buy mode. They're really, really good. So I also have a reference picture for this for like the actual shape of it because I had no clue how to start this. I didn't know what to do for it. So I got a reference and I started adding on to it every like while I was building. So I'll pull up the picture now and kind of like show you the inspiration for the shape of it so far. So as you could see the like actual shape of it was inspired by this. Um, it didn't feel like enough for me for some reason, so I do add a tower to it. I add towers to everything, but I added this porch too, but the shape is just like a rectangle, some pieces sticking out, and another part on the top. It looks good when I look at this, but I think that when I'm building, I usually second guess myself a lot, and I'm like, this isn't good. I need to add something else to it, and it's usually a tower. I do think like towers are like cute, and I like it. So, I'm glad that I added it. I feel like it looks way more just like it blends in a little bit better when it's like this, but it's okay. I use like as much of the new pack as I can because I didn't use a lot of the windows. So the like shingles on the walls are from the new pack. I love those. I definitely think they're going to be a go-to for me. Um, Unfortunately, these windows that I use have like a white swatch on the inside, so I tried layering windows to like cover it up, but um yeah, I don't know why that's like that. I wish it was just like brown on the outside, brown on the inside, but you can't have that, I guess. Oh yeah, there is one of the new windows that I use. I like, do I keep it there? Yeah, okay, so that's gonna be the kitchen. I do keep that window there. I do one in the back right there that I end up splitting into two bedrooms, so I changed those windows out just because where I was splitting it, it would like it cuts into it. So, yeah, here I am making the Oh wait, that's not even the tower. That's just a oh no, that is a tower. Okay. I was gonna say that just is a piece sticking out. But the tower, I think you've seen it in the preview of the like video. Um I just make a little playroom and like a reading area, and that's pretty much it. I don't do a lot of stuff with the towers usually, just because there's not like a lot of space in them. And this one I made like a little bit wider than I usually do, I think. It looks wider than it usually is, but I do kind of like this build. This could be something that I would use for personal gameplay. I struggle with just like building things and then using them for gameplay because I use a lot of items that are kind of annoying for gameplay. Like, um, I was using a lot of the clay statue things from the clay ball, and when I did gameplay for it, the Sims kept picking it up and like changing it and putting it down somewhere else. So I've been kind of keeping that in mind lately when I build. I don't know if I've put any in here. I'll definitely call it out if I see it. But even when I'm like doing these voiceovers, for some reason I can't focus 100% on what's happening in the video, so I easily miss a lot of stuff, especially if I'm just talking off topic. But the landscaping, I wanted to just like have some overgrown stuff. I don't fill up the whole lot, even though I like would love to. Um, it would have been just like excessive, I think. But I do have a bunch of tall grass and stuff. And the interior of the build isn't as like run down as the outside. I don't even know if the outside looks run down. It feels like it to me. But or I guess weathered, like, yeah. But the interior is just like um not as modern as I guess I would expect from a suburban build. But yeah, I'm putting some grass on the roof because I can't help myself. I need to do that with all of my builds. My pack limited builds are usually focused on seeing what I can do with a limited pack in my style. So I need to always just like add the little things that I normally do. I didn't do much terrain in this at all, which makes sense. Yeah. So the interior is how many bedrooms is this? One, two, three, three bedrooms and a study room, so technically it could be four. There's one bedroom upstairs with the study upstairs, and then downstairs is like an infant's room and a parent's bedroom next to it. A big living room and just a hallway that eats up a lot of the space. uh, yeah, I don't remember if I struggled with this floor plan. I think I had an idea of what I wanted because I wanted to use those huge new archways that I really like that have like, is it stained glass? I think so. I think there's stained glass on it. So yeah, I loved those arches, so I wanted to make sure that there was enough space for them. And so like, I think I only managed to get it in the living room. Yeah. So like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it in the living room. That's like when I saw that arch in the trailer, I was just like, yes, I need that. The same with the rug of this. I was like, I need those two items. I don't care what else is in it. And then when like all of this stuff was um released, it wasn't leaked this time, it was released. I was like, oh my god, there's so many good items in this pack. I 100% need it. So, um yeah, the hallway, I don't do a lot in the hallway. I always feel pressure to furnish hallways for some reason, even though hallways usually aren't furnished, but I only place like a couple of items in there. The bathroom, I wanted to use the new shower, and I was going to. It looked good, but I was just like, no, like that's too modern for this build style that I want to do, and if I throw that in, I'm going to be like thrown off for how to do the interior because I feel like I say it every video, I'm burnt out from interiors. I don't know if I was at the time of recording this, but I am currently. I have a video that I'm gonna be releasing next week, and it's supposed to be for my shell challenge, but I haven't finished the interior of it, so I might have to push that back, and post one of the other ones that I do have done. But, um, yeah, I really like the kitchen in this build. I feel like it's like a little bit smooth, like smoother doing base game in a pack only. Um, the exterior I struggled with, but the interior, it kind of like, it's like a low pressure to me because I'm like, all right, like, it's not expected for this to be like cluttered on like every countertop and stuff. Like that would be like not functional or realistic. So it's a little bit easier because I like builds that have a lot of clutter everywhere that like you can't really live in, but this is a family home build. So I was like, okay, the kitchen felt a little bit easier for me to do. I love these base game cabinets and stuff, so if I don't have extra cabinet choices, these are usually the ones that I go for every single time. And cluttering with like base game has kind of just become a routine in my head. So I kind of know what I'm gonna do every time. Like, I feel like even my regular builds, I use way more base game items than I used to because I've been doing these like pack limited builds on my channel. Oh, and if you see me struggling to place curtains, it's because I did this before I put my mods back in. Or like most of like all of my mods. So I have a curtain mod that lets you free place curtains, and I didn't realize that was a mod. I completely forgot I had that installed. And so when I was building, I was just like, oh my god, did they break curtains with the update? Because this is ridiculous. I can't place my curtains anymore. And I realized that it's just because my mod that makes it 10 times easier wasn't like added back. So I was like, I kept forgetting to add it back too, and I kept struggling with the curtains, and I'm like, no. So if you're on PC and you play with mods, um, I have like the name of the mod in the description of my videos now. I don't have the link, but if you just Google what I posted in there, then it should come up as one of like the first options on Google. But it's a life changer, like really. Oh, this living room. I think the living room, I always have a favorite part of my builds. It's definitely the living room. I had a feeling it was going to be because I had the archway and stuff, and I knew I was going to place that new couch in the little like bay window area. And I love that couch too. Like there's a lot of good furniture in this pack. What else is new? Everything that are both the chairs new? Yeah, both the chairs are new. The fireplace is new. The like bookcases that I placed by the desk are new. The desk isn't new, but it's a lot of really good furniture in the pack, which is why I think that it's definitely worth it for $40 for me at least. I think that all these interior items are really, really good, and so gonna be my go-tos. Like the wall lights too. I love those. I've been using them in every single build. I love the rug. I really like that fireplace too. That's a great addition because I know base game doesn't have that many like really good smaller fireplaces, and always size them down a little bit, but that one's really nice. Like when I started doing these pack limited build videos, I kind of wanted to see what aspects of the packs are worth it for me. And I don't think the exterior adds enough for if it was just exterior basing it on, then I wouldn't think it's worth it for me. But the interior is just like a 10 out of 10. It's really good. I feel like I should start a ranking system for the packs for like building of like exterior versus interior and maybe like debug and decor, because I feel like that would be good. I feel like that would be easier than me writing out a paragraph in my comments, which I've been forgetting to do. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to just try and do that from now on. I could wing it right now. I would say the exterior, would be like a 4 out of 10 for like what I'm gonna use, because there's not many items that I'm gonna use very often, but I will be using the like shingles all the time, so I think that bumps it up from what would have been a 2 to a 4 for me. The interior, 10 out of 10. The debug, I have noticed that a lot of the debug items are like repeat items of other packs, but if you don't have those packs, you get a good variety of like debug items that are like reused from other packs, but there's so many of like cross each pack that I feel like this is a good pack for debug items because you don't have to pay like $40 for each of those specific debug items because they all come in this pack. Like I've seen people complain about that, and I'm now just like realizing that that's kind of just a good deal for people who don't own all the packs. So what would I say for debug? I'll give it like 8 out of 10. It's just like very, very casual thrown out there numbers. So, I didn't even use any debug items in this build because I didn't realize, I thought that I needed to just update, or I had to wait for Better Build By to update again. I apparently didn't have to. I just have to reinstall it or something. It's still not like, I can't like eyedrop them, so I'm gonna have to update it. But um yeah, I did another build that uses a lot of the debug items from this. It was my tea room library build. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, then you've seen it. It's just the one covered in ivy with like a tunnel that a boat goes through, which the tunnel is from this pack, which I don't think is in any of the other packs. So it's a really good debug pack. I wish I had like known about those items when I was doing this, but it's okay. Like, this is more of a family build anyway. I don't need all of those like fancy items. I feel like it works good for my future builds. So this bedroom is very different from what I've done before. A lot of these rooms are, it definitely was like testing my ability to furnish a house. I was also really thinking about those curtains and it being a safety hazard. Um, but I think it's still a safety hazard. And I spent all that time trying to make sure that the curtains weren't in the crib, that I end up just placing a shelf above the crib with a lot of heavy items on top. So I guess my priorities are always just set in one specific area, and then I just completely ignore it after. So the curtains were a problem, but this box apparently wasn't a problem for me. I don't know. But yeah, I've been liking doing shelves with a bunch of toys on it. I did it in my stacked cabin speed build. So I've been like, anytime I don't know what to do with the space, I'm like, I'll make it a kid's bedroom and I'll do that. One of those new posters from this pack I really, really like. I didn't end up using it in this build because I don't think it fits, but they have just like cute artwork from different worlds, like that exist in other packs. And I really like that. It was really cool to see. I like seeing the worlds and like the artwork like that. So I'll use it, but not in this build. I do a very basic bathroom up here. I didn't really have a lot of space to work with. The windows also take up a lot of the wall, so I didn't put a mirror or anything. It's just very simple. There's just a plunger from base game. The new hand towel from this pack is really good. These curtains too, one of my favorites. So there's a lot of items that I see myself reusing over and over again, and it's not just because they're like shiny new items. They're things that I'll actually use like over and over again in my builds, which might be annoying if people don't want the pack at all. But those are just like really good items. So I had to move the windows around to place them because I didn't have the mod installed, but that's okay. Um, yeah, I feel like I don't do a whole lot more with this build. I decorate the kids' bedroom, so I was like confused on where I wanted the infant's bedroom to be, and I figured it had to be next to the parents' bedroom, so those will have to be downstairs. So the kid pretty much gets like their own floor of the house pretty much, and the little playroom upstairs, so they've got a lot of space. But I put a lot of stuff in this bedroom already, so I was just like, oh my god, like what do I put up in the play area? Which I almost forgot about. I had to go back and do that like at least a week later, I think. So like there's not a lot of stuff up in the towers, which I think is fine, because if people download this build, they could just turn these into little hobby or skill rooms of like their choice for their specific sims. So I just add a giant dollhouse, and I wanted the lighting to be a little bit dim, so, and what is just shelves. This room I had a little bit more thought put in. The one above doesn't. It's just a couch and a thing. But yeah. So that's the end of the video. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll update on like new builds on my Instagram and Twitter and stuff in between my build videos, so you can see me there. Bye.